Hello, I'm Quentin from Idget Reads and Rambles, and I'm coming at you with a tag video today. I was tagged in the currently reading tag, originated by a person who goes by the name of Charlie Ray. I'll link to the video. And I was tagged by the channel of a disappointed man by Jason over there, and Jason is an interesting booktuber. He's one of these, I want to say, 2 or 3 people on BookTube that, to borrow the Shannon Sharp quote, if they told me grass would turn to cheese, I'd start hustling crackers. Yeah, I really respect this dude's insights and just his general perspective a lot. He actually recommended me the Lord Chandos letter by Hugo von Hofmannsthal, and I thought that was just a great little sort of, not a story, a philosophical vignette, 12 pages long, about the relationship between language and the language you think in and the language you speak. You know, it's really interesting. Also creativity. Yeah. But, oh yeah, he said he didn't know what the idget was in the channel, and of course, we all know it's I'm a man of infinite intellectual generosity. That's what the idgets and idgettes here are. But anyways, let's get down to the tag. Okay. How many books do you usually read at once? Usually one, but sometimes I am pulled in multiple directions. You know, if I catch myself reading 2 books at one time, and I find myself liking one of them far more, I will read one book. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of iffy. Poetry, I'm better at reading that alongside something else. But yeah, usually 2. Never really more than 2, unless I'm like dipping into and out of poetry collections, which I don't really consider that reading a book, you know, because a lot of times I'm just sampling other poems. I'm not really sitting down and reading a collection. And yeah. All right, 3. Oh wait, no, 2. I'm getting ahead of myself here. If you're reading more than one book at a time, how do you decide when to switch to reading the other book? I don't decide, and that's the problem, because if I could decide to switch to the other book, I might read the other book. But yeah, usually it also depends on reading times, you know, like Genji. This thing, I've also been taking sort of sips of Anne Sexton poetry, as well as just some other, you know, other types of stuff, other poems, Kawabata's Palm of the Hand stories. And since these are like typically quite sort of long, flowing, immersive chapters, what I'll normally do is just have something to read on the bus, have something to read, you know, in a waiting room if I'm going there. Yeah, that's normally how I budget my reading time, I guess. I don't know if I answered that question, but I'm moving on anyways. 3, do you ever switch bookmarks while you're partway through a book? No. Unless I find a bookmark that I just generally enjoy a lot. I like these monkey's paw little cards. You know, monkey's paw. I'm always shilling the monkey's paw, because they actually, you'll find some stuff you never heard of at this store, which is a key bookish delight. But they have one with a planet on it with like the rings of Saturn around it. I love it. But if I get something cool like that at a bookstore, I'll immediately switch the bookmark out. I do prefer these types of bookmarks, though. This isn't really related to the question, but I prefer these types of bookmarks. This is a sort of just a notebook that I got. It has this awesome little tree on the front that kind of reminds me of this tree we used to have called the Tree of Lost Things. There were a bunch of toys in it, you know. And this is like something I've tried to write about. It's going to be a prose drafting notebook. I don't know why I'm including that, but you know, it's a tag video. You know, who cares if I stick to the tags? The point is not really the questions, it's just to get to know somebody. But on that note, I might as well just tell you what my other bookmarks are. I love these sort of really kitschy, stupid fun bookmarks. I have one with an elephant on it, and the elephant is saying, "Don't stop, the best part's coming up." This is the big book bookmark. It fit more with Louis Armand's The Combinations, right? Prague, my sister got it for me in Prague. Only the big books get this, because you know what I'm saying? You see that? It's just too big for another book. Like, it won't even fit the haiku anthology here, you know? But I tend to use anything near me. If I start a new book and I only have like Presto cards near me, a Presto card is the transit in Toronto. I'll use that. Receipts, I got a list of stuff to do for an ab workout. I use that as a thing. I like book depository ones. Yeah, I don't know. I don't switch bookmarks to answer the question. Where do you keep the book you're currently reading? Normally right beside me all the time. Unlike Jason, I don't have the problem of losing things all the time, but usually right beside me 24/7. Even when I'm going anywhere near the library in town, I bring this. Or if I'm going, because the library is right by the bus depot where I transfer. So if I'm taking the bus and I need to transfer, I'm bringing this wherever I go. But if not, I'll bring something else, you know, fishing, haiku, a lot of that stuff. Like I'll make sure I have a book on me basically all the time. What time of day do you spend the most time reading? Unlike Jason, again, I'm a big fan of the midnight binge for books. That's how I finish a lot of books I love, which is kind of bad because especially when you got to regulate your own schedule, you don't have a schedule for work that you need to be up by, so you can't be trucking around staying up till 3 a.m. reading Little Johnny's Confession or anything like that. When you don't have that, it's kind of poisonous for your schedule, so I imagine I'll have to stop it when I'm at school. But yeah, Genji's made for the midnight binge, man. I can just, in a midnight binge, I can just kill a 50-page section of this like it's nothing. But during the day, I find it hard to give it the same attention. But during the day, I prefer my reading to be sort of like 10, 11 a.m., sometimes mid-afternoon. I mean, we'll see. This is all going to change when I get to school and I have access to a library at any time, you know, anytime I so choose. And yeah, what time of day do I spend the most time reading? Normally at night. Yeah. How long do you typically read for in one go? Well, this depends, right? The midnight binge, because the midnight binge is where it's just completely like no distractions, you know? So you can really eat up like 60, 70 pages, upwards of that if it's an easy novel to read. You can really kill that much, but the rest of the time you live with some jabronis who won't shut the hell up any of the time. So you normally can't read that much, you know what I mean? So normally I'm doing like 30 pages, 20 pages sometimes. If it's poetry, far less. I tend to really reread and read aloud for poetry. I read aloud sometimes for prose, but yeah. Do you read hardcovers with the dust jacket on or off? And Jason makes a great point about getting chocolate on the on the board for the book. I read it with the dust jacket off all the time. I find it slips on my hands, so I can't really deal with that. But yeah, I always make sure to read it with the dust jacket off. But you know, maybe next time I'm eating Cheetos or something. Not that I eat Cheetos a lot, but next time I'm eating something with gets gunk on my fingers, maybe I'll do that. Which position do you mainly use to read? I get my feet up and I lay back, man. Even at the library, I find it's really weird because sometimes I'll try to make myself sit up, and when I'm binging long, typically I will change positions, so I'll sit up and I feel like just moving around helps me kind of focus, like changing position just kind of helps me focus and pay closer attention. But usually my feet are up. Even when I'm at the library, I'll put my feet up on like the side of one of those big windows. Yeah. Or on the sill of like a really big window. Nobody seems to care there. It's fine. Yeah. Do you take the book you're currently reading with you everywhere you go? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Why would you not? Apart from if you're prone to losing things. Yeah. 10, how often do you update your progress in the book you're currently reading on Goodreads? Actually, not a lot. I looked at my Goodreads recently, and there's stuff I just don't, I'm pretty sure I've read more than that, but I can't really think of the stuff I've read that I didn't put on there. Anything I talk about on the channel, I put on Goodreads, and I never call attention to anybody, whether it's someone I'm talking to on Instagram. I don't tell them I make videos. I don't link my YouTube channel from the Instagram. I don't tell anybody. I do this, really. It's just, you know, it's our secret, I guess. But, you know, I think it's kind of, I don't know. It's just, I don't fill out Instagram too often, and I don't really link my channel. 11, who do you like to tag? I'm not going to tag anybody, to be completely honest, because I'm doing another tag. Michael Romeo Talks Books. He tagged me in the 25 questions to get to know you tag, and that's going to be the first video I do when I'm down at school, I think. So yeah, I'm going to tag everybody then. There are a bunch of channels I would like to just, a bunch of small channels I would like to sort of bring to your attention, I mean. But, yeah. I think that's the end of the video. Peace and groovy.